Welcome to Stone Hands, to the Hands of Stone, the ancient alien civilizations. Yes, indeed, our Earth is ancient, and humankind has been here only briefly. And it would be foolish to assume that the space and time, the space continuum room, is uninhabited by other beings and creatures. When we go to the basics, where our spirit is manifested from the Godhead, from the essence of the first bang, from the absolute zero. From there, the creation created spirits which habited the realms of the void, the emptiness. From there, they created the first planets and the stars, the first realms. From the stars and the planets, they created constellations and correlations, how they all began to intertwine and intersect with each other. And from there, the creator spirits specialized more into specific projects of creating an universe, of creating a galaxy, of creating a system or a cluster of stars, etc. And some specialized in creating species, creating vegetation, creating an inhabitable species that can have a spirit living in them. Because each planet is a manifestation of spirit and has a consciousness and will, if we could say in that way. I am presence. And so when the spirits began creating those planets and bodies that they could inhabit, the spirits had to make themselves into pieces, into particles of the Godhead, into souls in our words. So the souls were created that the spirits could inhabit the bodies that were created for the planets, and the planets could be filled with beautiful, vivid, living beings that can come and live upon them. So many planets were created prior Earth. Many stars lived and exploded into supernovas before the Earth and our solar system. But at one point our solar system was created by the Logos Ra and the creation of the planets. The first experiments and the living creatures lived on the Venus and on the Mars. And some kind of life forms that are really strange for us lived also on Neptune and Uranus and on Saturn and even on Mercury. But we shall not dwell upon them because these forms are too strange for us to comprehend them. But the forms that are most comprehensive for us lived on Venus and on Mars. But they were also migrated over there from the belt of Orion, where the history of the first cosmic wars originates from. The great conflict of the God of the all-knowing presence of benevolent light or within presence that found a rival who wanted to be a creator itself, and from there the destructive sequence of things began. And from there many forms with 2 hands and legs and humanoid forms were created and they lived. And from the Venus and the Mars they immigrated on to the planet Earth. And on the planet Earth also our history has been vivid because our race has been created to represent the almighty power of the source, as we are the beings who have huge array of emotion that we can experience from low to the high spectrum, and that is rare in this universe. But in the past civilizations, we have been in contact with other beings, other civilizations. We have been in communion with throughout space and time. We also have been doing space travel with our physical bodies and with our astral bodies. So we have a long history of traveling around the space and time. And that's something that we should begin to cherish in this period of space and time, because we have been programmed that we are the greatest beings in the universe, we are the only living forms. But that's utter lie, I could say, because it doesn't make sense, because there are so many possibilities, and we say we are alone in the space. I just visited the first UFO memoriam in our country. I made a video about it. You can go and look it and check it out. But to see us as so special that there are no one else, that's quite narrow. That's egoistic. As we look the truth bringers to those civilizations that we know, the Sumerians, the Mesoamerican civilizations, also the northern civilizations, the Finns, the Finno-Ugric people. We all have tales about the bringers of the truth, the bringers of knowledge, the friends and so on. Or we have the origin, how we were once upon great and lived in communion with the stars, but then came the downfall and the time of forgetting, like the sinking of Atlantis. The Atlantis was the civilization that was in contact with many races. Also the Hyperborea that was in the north was in contact with many civilizations. And even lately, as 100 years ago, 130 years ago, the documents of the last Russian Tsar said he had agreements of trading goods with extraterrestrial civilizations. And as we looked in those hidden areas, 66 and other bases in the United States, in the Russia, and in Alaska, and in the Antarctica and Antarctic, there are many phenomena bases and the observation of the extraterrestrials since the 40s and 50s. Even here in Estonia, 100 years ago, there were many observations of extraterrestrials. And in the past, we used to communicate with them. But at the time, we have made it secret. We have suppressed the knowledge because it is dangerous for our program that we have been narrowed to think that we are the only ones. It's dangerous for our program, because then the people would begin to rebel against the governments. People would begin to critically think about, is it all true that has been told us? Is it all true that our leaders are telling and showing us? So that's the thing to consider it upon. When we look those ancient megalithic structures, the ancient walls of Carthago, the pyramids in the Crimea Peninsula, in Bosnia, even the Egyptian pyramids or the Numidian pyramids, they are remnants of an ancient civilization that was greater than our nowadays. They used different kinds of powers, different kinds of technology that we are used. They used more organic way, as we have become more technocratic in our manners of communication and behavior and in our structures, because we can also utilize the elements with our psychic powers, the fire, the earth, the water, the air. We can cut the stones in precise manners. We can lift them, we can move them if we are willing to remember our holographic reality and our holographic beings. And it's all about remembering, cleaning up the body from the toxins of the environment and from the food, to clean, to cleansify our bodies and to be more in contact with our benevolent, with our loving being. And from there, we can again begin to develop our organic technology. So I wish you all the best and goodbye.